So I think it's important that in building a healthy board is that there's a good recruitment process. And I think a good recruitment process means that people have to think very carefully of the kind of characteristics that they're looking for in board members. So I think, first of all, you need to have board members that are godly, who love the Lord, and that at a theological level, in other words, what people believe is essentially the same thing. So it's good in the board to have diversity, but it's not a good for the board to have a diversity of vision. There can be diversity of personalities, and that's great, a diversity of experience, which is fantastic, but there must be a single vision as to what is the future. So first of all, a board needs to think carefully about the kinds of trustees that it wants, but there also needs to be a very careful recruitment process. So it's not very healthy for a board to have just family members. In fact, that can be very difficult. So when we're recruiting somebody, yes, they've got to be godly, they've got to have the shared vision. What's their relationship to existing board members? Can it be too close? Or if it's too far away, you don't really know that person. And it can be quite a dangerous thing to invite trustees or board members who you don't really know. Sometimes it can work. Sometimes there is a danger if you only recruit people like yourselves that you know very well, it can become very inward-looking. The danger is if you recruit complete strangers. And I once took a board position because of an advert because I just thought it was an interesting ministry, Christian ministry, and I thought I would get involved in it. But it's more risky. So you've got the danger of having people who think just like you, or people that you don't know very well, and they might come in and they might distract the board from its purpose. So you're balancing personalities, you're balancing experience, and you're not balancing godliness, and you're not balancing the same vision as well. Now, we're looking for, I'm involved constantly in recruitment for board members with different charities. You're looking for specific skills as well. Now, one thing that's more common perhaps traditionally in American boards than I'm British, so British boards, is that the board members are funders. I think that can be dangerous because in a good board, every board member has the same voice. But if you've got a board member who's much wealthier than anybody else and gives a lot to the ministry, that can be dangerous because it means that everybody's afraid what their reaction is to something. So I think be wary of recruiting people purely for financial reasons. But you do look for people with different skill sets. So it's very helpful to have somebody with legal expertise. It's just helpful for somebody who knows legal due process in principle. It's useful to have somebody with HR skills, human resource skills, personnel skills, because it's inevitable at board level you may end up dealing with personnel difficulties if they appeal to the board. The board has to have some experience of knowing what people what they're entitled to. And that's particularly important today when we're looking at the culture of an organisation. And even the last 10 years, I think the culture of an organisation is changing as we see a generation growing up who are probably more post-modern in the way that they think. So I think those areas, communications is another one. If you have a board member who understands social media, that's a great advantage for an organisation, or publishing, more traditional forms of media. Again, you're looking at a board to blend a range of skills so that they can encourage and challenge the executive too. And that takes time. Typically in a board, you might have, a healthy board has a reasonable number of people. I'm on one of the boards I'm on has over 20 board members. It's actually far too many. I'm on a church leadership team where there's 16 deacons, and I'm one of the elders. It's actually too big for good decisions. So you really want a board that's, in my view, and it's a personal opinion, maybe between 7 to 12 members. And in the 7 to 12 members, you're united by godliness, you're united by the vision, but you do bring a diversity of experience. And it's not just, and you balance the experience. You want younger voices on your board. So your board needs to think about how you can encourage young people to be involved, but who've got pressures of life, whether they're families or in current business, but also the experience of older people who maybe don't have the same energy, but might have a lifetime of experience. You're balancing type of experience, you're balancing age. You can be balancing ethnicity as well. People who have a different cultural experience can bring a welcome dimension to a board as well.